All right, Dylan, you want to turn the music down to 5 or 10?
You ready for this one?
Welcome, welcome. Yo, yo, yo. It's Tusk Talk.
LFG.
It's Tusk Talk. And obviously, I know everybody's anticipating a lot of good news, and I hope to bring that to you with the things that I'm about to announce. But I did want to just start it off by saying, listen, I'm not trying to hype things up to get instant price action. What I'm trying to do is produce products that synonymously work together to allow this ecosystem to be sustainable. So every move I make is in that regard, looking down the line rather than looking at the right now. And I've said this before, the PCP campaign did amazing wonders at fixing the sentiment. And I think that it is the wrong narrative to build, though, is that we need PEG. What I want is to build and use available products that bolster new liquidity to support all inflation that we have, along with the deflationary mechanisms that we put in place. And so I just want to start off by saying that if like people are using this as like some kind of hype board or a springboard for like price action and stuff, I understand that that's going to happen regardless, but that's not impactful to me. I want to build a very long-term sustainable protocol for investors, not traders. And I welcome traders anytime, but I'm just saying this is what I'm doing. So I feel like there's been a lot of hype, and I'm very happy with excitement, and I love excitement, and I want to be that excited. But I think that I just want to start it off with that, so that at the end of it, you guys aren't screaming, "Where's all the alpha?" Because if we go with straight up alpha all the time, or that's the demand for fixing price action, or that's the demand of the community, it can get very toxic. So just wanted to start off by saying that. But otherwise, I'm extremely fucking hype. It's Saturday. It's our first Tusk Talk on Saturday. So hopefully you all are enjoying your weekend. And I'm so happy that everybody's came to join me. I'm just going to, talk some of the basics here at first, because usually it takes about 10 minutes for everybody to kind of show up. And we did have a lot of interest. We had like 114 people interested in this. So we'll just kind of talk and take it slow. And then once more people show up, we'll start making some of the announcements. Obviously, a lot of people are gearing up. It looks like hopefully most of these are investors coming back or same investors, whatever it is. And they're not trying to just swing trade the announcement. But regardless, we do have some things to announce, some things that we've been working on really hard, and some things that we'll have to continue to work on as the month progresses and the next month progresses. But we do have some readily available stuff, and that we can implement. And again, everything I'm doing is trying to make a more sustainable platform. Obviously, the clear cut Synorge protocol as a tomb fork doesn't work without extra features, without changing and twisting things to try and make it work better. And so that's really the angle I went with. I've been making a lot of rounds, talking with a lot of people, and just trying to secure our spot for not only the next bull run, but just the next crypto cycle where more investors are to come in. And I want this to be a lucrative platform for all of you all that have followed me. So let's see. I don't know where to really start. I don't know which one to. So the first one I think that we definitely are doing is that Space Games with Dave has been working really hard on a podcast platform. So it's not just one that we're throwing together. We are going to be doing WLRS radio with ad spots in it. And him, and Top Gun will be doing like weekly podcasts, just kind of, not anything about Frozen War specifically, just about the crypto market in general. And so we're going to do that for a revenue for the treasury. I also thought about another way is that I can have a sponsored ad section here in the announcements. I'm not completely sold on it, but I know that some people do want to use, our very engaged community to advertise protocols and other Discord stuff. So if we can charge them for maybe an ad sponsor and you all understand that it's an ad and they've paid us, the money would be sent directly to the treasury. And then we could use that directly to buy back and burn Walrus. So I've been thinking about that for a little bit. Don't want to get into any of the big stuff. And then I'm also looking for on-chain arbitrage bots. I would like to bring that as like a small extra revenue. And all these little revenue sources, I would like to directly use the profits to buy back and burn Walrus. And of course, Narwhal if it's needed, so that we can start making a more sustainable ecosystem with actual revenue sharing. So, revenue for the protocol. So, yeah, that's some of the smaller stuff. And then I think another one that I can allude to but can't make a full set announcement. There's a certain meme in this Discord about something that I'm asked about all the time. And I will say that we are very close to making it official. And it won't just be the product, it will be a partnership. I'm very happy about that. I really like that team. And so you can expect an official announcement on that possibly next week, depending on. But just know that it is coming. I've been working really hard on that, and I actually have built a really good relationship with that. So if you know it in the chat, go ahead and say it. I won't confirm it because we kind of want to keep it loose right now because things change in crypto. But I'm fairly confident that you'll be seeing it soon here for our protocol. So that's really good news. I'm very happy about that. That is another use case of using LP and finding a new way to lock it up or finding a new way to use it as a token. And the amount of stuff that we can lock up as LP or the amount of stuff that you can use with your LP, the better it is for the ecosystem. You're gaining, the protocol gains a more sustainable system. So everybody benefits from it. And so that's kind of the angle that I was looking at. But I know that it was very, very requested. So let's see what else. I'm being added a lot. Does anybody have questions that you're getting sent? I'm getting sent right now, Dylan.
No, not yet. It's a lot of hype. You've built up a lot of hype around this one. How much longer are you gonna let these people wait?
I'm just kind of letting people pile in. So, yeah.
According to 6BE, your mic sucks, but I think you're coming in crystal clear, and I've got shitty headphones. So
Yeah, man, I think you got shitty headphones, 6B.
he's using good. Austin, you're using the good mic on the YouTube live. Your Discord mic sucks.
It's the same one. I don't understand. It's the same one.
Change the input.
Let me see. Hold on. Hopefully.
Does your PC have a built-in?
Did my voice just change now?
Yeah, it sounds significantly worse.
Worse?
That one, that I didn't like that one. Yeah, go back to the other one.
This is my extremely good microphone.
You sound like you're in a hole, but maybe I've got you like turned down. I do. Hold on. Now talk.
Hello? Sounds better.
All right.
For some reason, my default.
I had you turned down.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. All right. All right. Yeah. So everybody can hear me now. Before I make any drastic announcements. Yeah. All right. So this is my Rode Procaster or whatever they call it, the fancy one. I'll get closer to the mic as well because I know that it's dynamic, so it picks up different. Yeah. Like here's the thing: is like I want to announce this stuff, and like I just get nervous about it because everybody's kind of hyping it up, and I just don't want it to be something that you all don't see as a positive. And I'll make my claims as to why I'm doing everything so that you guys are on get a full picture. So firstly, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you all the new website. So if you're not on my YouTube, you'll have to watch it later, or you can go ahead and click over through the announcement. I am going to show you all exactly what this is. This is all complete. The website is complete, and Jumpman has it all. All he has to do is hook it up, which I say all he has to do is hook it up, but it is quite difficult because it's not like it was just made for CSS and Web3. It's just pictures that he has to develop into an actual workable product, but we are much closer. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that through my YouTube. So if you aren't watching the YouTube, I apologize. You won't get to see the alpha until later. So let's show that. So we have some new icons, but we have a full workable model here through Figma. And so I'm just going to wait a little bit until everybody can join in and check it out. So I'm very happy with it. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. I think it's extremely professional, and it really draws attention to Frozen Walrus as like a professional financial tool, which is what I've always wanted. So this is where we're at with it currently. So obviously, we have a full farm, boardroom, nodes, and rebates all on the same page. You can see Walrus USDC, Narwhal. You can see the new icons. You can see that on the farms, you can zap or deposit with the slider. You have your pending rewards on the right. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the new compound rebates lottery. We do have a dashboard that I will show you. And then we have all of our tokens here. And so that is for the farms. Boardrooms, of course, we have the Narwhal and Walrus boardroom. And then for nodes, we have all of our normal nodes. And so you can see all of that. And it's the same. And some of this will obviously look a little bit different. This is like more of an interpretation of what it should look like. But obviously, as me and Jumpman know widely, is that this stuff is not as easy to implement through CSS and other features. But it will look very, very similar. So he's been working on that pretty relentlessly, along with some of the other stuff that we have working. And then, of course, we have the rebate section. But some of the stuff that you haven't seen maybe is that we have the My Balance section whenever you have a wallet connected. So it'll show you all of your tokens and how much you hold of each. We then have, if you hover over DeFi products, you'll see farms, bonds, rebates, boardroom, nodes, lottery, and it'll link you to all of that and whatever other DeFi products we may develop. And then you can go to the dashboard and you can see all of our dashboard that we currently have in a new pretty colored format so that you can track all of your Frozen Walrus analytics. So that's currently in the works right now. And it might take a little bit to get connected, but he's doing it in a way that it'll be very easy to do add-ons. So, yeah, I think that I thought everybody was jumping out. I was like, what the hell did I say that made people jump out of the ask me anything? But I forgot everybody's going to move to the U for the U2. It makes a lot more sense. But yeah, so here's our new website. Hopefully we'll have workable models here soon. And you'll be able to start toying with it and seeing it. And we'll likely keep the old one on a different, like on a different website so that you can always access it in case you want light mode or anything like that. So that is our new website. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that. I think it looks amazing. So I hope that you all feel the same. Let's see.
We do have a hand up.
Yeah, I think it's GDB.
GDB.
GDB on his iPad. We'll let you come on up, buddy. Let's access it in case you want light mode.
Whoa. Sorry. Yo, the website looks cool, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, since last time we spoke, I did like briefly talk about, what my idea with, and it turned out to be a PCP, the project. I had just a thought because the whole sentiment of getting people to go into the PCP was the high yields at first, right? So it was like stupid percent, right? I thought, how about on some days, like if it's Walter's anniversary or I don't know, it could be his birthday, have like booster weekends where the API gets a little boost, right? Only certain days a week. And then that could incentive, whatever the word is, to bring people, that word. Bring people into the PCP on obviously the whole lockup thing, blah blah blah.
Yeah, actually, so we'll talk a little bit about the PCP2, the Afterpay campaign.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't want to bring out up that you know what I mean, that you didn't want to speak about.
No. I think it's a good idea to speak about because obviously we've had it on the website for quite some time. So I guess it's best to clear the air on that, so that you guys get a full understanding of what that is and kind of what we are looking to implement with that. So I actually had thought about doing some boosted pools every once in a while, just based on like engagement or certain events or something like that. So this PCP2 will actually allow us to do that. So PCP2 is like a predecessor. I think it's a predecessor is the word I'm looking for, but it's the one that after. So originally we were going to implement it at 0.9 TWAP and turn off taxes from PCP1. And then once we did that, we were going to allow you to stake your LP that you just got provided for heightened walrus share farming rewards, right? And allow people that boost it higher than the current farms through the Treasury's walrus share, and allow you to use that to kind of negate the sell pressure from people that are in PCP that are going to start APR chasing, and then start lowering that over time, so that people can, one, we can get over peg, and then two, once the shares go up because we're over peg, then the APRs will of course start going up. And then we don't have to offer as high through the Treasury walrus share, and people can start moving over. So we thought about doing like 0.9 to 1.15 with a different tax structure, obviously, probably less impactful than the current one. So it would be like maximum 15 or 20%. And then, and so then we can also do no taxes on it. We can, have just boosted farms. And so that's kind of impactful, right? And so I've thought about doing that as well. But that is what PCP2 is. And so we haven't decided where we're going to go with that. We haven't seen the price action to justify releasing the taxes to allow for this next one. But hopefully soon we can start working that in. And really all it is just a temporary booster farm, so that we can dampen APRs until walrus share is at a level that we feel it's lucrative to allow that much liquidity, no place to go. And then they can go back to the farms and we can start working. That's my intended thoughts and ideas for it. So we got the website, PCP2, WLRS. I guess.
You've got 47 people on YouTube and 60 in here, so that's 107 people.
Yeah, for sure. We're almost there. We're almost there. Does anybody have any questions before I keep going? I know that I don't want to start it unless, everybody's ready. One second, I'm doing some stuff with my... Everybody take a second.
Avery's not ready.
All right, Avery, you get ready.
Zephram said he'll be right back.
All right. Everybody, we got to wait on Zephram. I'm kidding. All right. Let's see. No questions still. Everybody wants the alpha, huh? Hold on, I'm doing something with one of my positions. Brief pause break. Everybody go grab another beer. Relax. We don't have to spill all the beans in 30 seconds.
Not So Savvy wants to know, has any thought ever been put into making bonds more appealing? Bonds with a twist possibly benefits with the new P2E game.
Wait, say it again.
Has any thought been put into making bonds appealing? Bonds with a twist possibly benefits with the new P2E game.
I think bonds are appealing in themselves. The risk versus reward is pretty nice. So I don't think that we need to incentivize them any further. And I kind of like that the bond structure is just how it is right now. But I mean, it's a good thought. Almost there. What else? Surely y'all got some questions. Oh, by the way, we are doing a walrus share giveaway like normal. We'll do 3 for somebody that's here right now, and then we'll do another 3 for the best question. So, yeah.
Are you planning to update nodes to V2 similar to what Grape is planning to do? From our friend Dwight Schrute.
No.
Hold on, I've got another question, but I need to sneeze first. It's from Eric the Great. Do you see an end to the PCP if it continues to flounder and Peg is not reached with it? Will it be permanent frozen wars?
Yeah, I do plan on ending it eventually. There's no way that we can keep it up. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's sustainable to keep doing.
If you go too hard on PCP, you're almost.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can overdose on PCP.
We don't want to overdose anybody.
Exactly. All right. As I'm wrapping this up, so we need revenue, right? And there's a lot of things that I've talked about wanting to do, and there's a lot of things that I still plan on doing. But I think that one that I've talked about for quite some time that is being done in the space right now by a couple protocols, and I've been talking about it so long that I think I found a more synonymous way of working it together with the other. And so I think that it's time to kind of let you guys know what my plans are for it. And I'll go ahead and post the landing page website in the chat. Let me get it real quick. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about what I love about it. So, Glacier Finance is a balancer fork. And it's something that me and Jumpman are wanting to use to bolster new liquidity. And there's a couple of things that we're going to do differently with it. So you guys can check out the website and kind of get a good feel for it. The white paper will come in the next couple of days. And there is, the thing is that I have a lot of people that I know want to support us. And I think that I can not only build Glacier Finance to, support Frozen Walrus, but past that, I think I can make Glacier Finance very successful on Avalanche. It's not being done on Avalanche. I think there's a lot of benefits to a balancer protocol. And if you're not familiar with the balancer protocol, trust me, I will get you familiar with it through countless amounts of education. But there's a couple of things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be opening up in the next couple of weeks for angel investors, obviously to get the initial liquidity for, the GCL token that we'll be releasing. And you'll be able to get a premium on your purchase of that so that we can get initial liquidity. And, it's one of those things that there's been a lot of thought going into this, right? And I know it sounds like maybe we saw that it worked with Equinox and stuff like that. And I just got to say, just go back through my last Ask Me Anythings. I have been relentlessly talking about doing a balancer. I've talked to LB about doing a balancer, and it's just one of those things that I just want to do now. And there's a couple different things that we're going to do different with our revenue and with our fees that we're going to be doing. So our structure will directly benefit the Walrus ecosystem because you'll be able to use your LP to gain some of the revenues from the fees. So that's not being done anywhere right now. And I think it'll be really impactful. So the way that I see it is that, we're going to have different types of pairs, and we're not going to abandon Trader Joe. We're not going to abandon Swapsicle. We're going to leave those, right? And so now we'll have new opportunities to use excess Walrus and Narwhal in a different way to yield off of GCL. And then we also have, as everybody knows it, this new partnership for another thing that locks up LP. And so we'll have the original 50-50 LPs, and there'll be so much you can do with it, right? You can lock it in for a piece of the fees. from this balancer fork. And if we can expand this to be a very large protocol, obviously you'll get much more. And then we also have, we also have the contract that we're talking about that I might be, that we're doing partnerships with. But regardless, there's going to be so many ways to use LP that benefits you as a user. The reason that I'm not focusing on burn is because I want to support constantly growing liquidity, right? I want there to be 17 million walrus in circulation with 17 million USDC to pair with it. And the only way we can do that is if we expand our ecosystem very drastically. And so if you don't know what a balancer fork is, it takes a LP, like a normal 50-50 LP where you'd have 50% USDC and 50% walrus. And now it's going to turn it on its head, and we can do, say, 80% walrus, 20% USDC. Or even more lucrative, we can do walrus, narwhal, YUSD, USDC, 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%, almost like an ETF or an index fund. We'll also be able to host very, very low fee stable swaps on the site. So we'll host YUSD, USDC, and stuff like that locally, so that it'll be very easy to trade pairs. And so with this, we're probably going to have a very a big hit onto bringing in partners, because I've been talking with a lot of people, and a lot of people are interested in it. But I have Steve, who goes to a lot of the AVAX events, that is in talks with a lot of the big guys at AVAX. I'm going to have him on for complete partnership acquisition. And we're going to start pushing, new protocols to this DEX to gain as much fees as we can for you as a user. Right. And I hope that you all see the benefits that Glacier, Finance can really bring us. So it's extremely powerful protocol. And I think that you all will see in time that this isn't just like us throwing something together, but this is actually a very harmonious relationship between the two that can really benefit each other, and constantly benefit you as a holder, to buy LP and hold it, because there's so many things you can do with it. So to get the fees as a LP provider for Walrus, you'll have to convert it to another token that is illiquid, and there will be a burn fee on it to go in and out of it, like 1 or 2%. And so you'll be able to have that, and we'll have a little bit of a burn feature there, but you'll be able to stake that and lock it in for a week or whatever, and then you'll get paid every week as an LP provider in our ecosystem. So that is really what we've been building really hard, and I've started getting with the appropriate parties to get the contracts, to get this mapped out, to get a full understanding of exactly what it takes, because this isn't just like a small project. It's quite expansive, and it's quite big, and I want to make sure it's done right. So I'm trying not to give any hard dates, but I do want to get it done before September's over. I will say that. So it is something that I'm very adamant about, that I think can really help sustainability in our protocol. And I think that there's a lot of great things that we can do with it as far as partnership acquisition. And honestly, I can shield the shit out of it because it's a DEX, and nobody, it doesn't matter if I market the hell out of it. So all that stuff about not marketing Frozen Walrus will still be the same, but now I'm going to market this platform like crazy. And so I know how to market, I just haven't. And so now I get to take that off and really dig in deep and start doing outreaching through partners, through other users, and really gain the mass amount of exposure that we want, and all the while benefiting you all as LP providers of Frozen Walrus ecosystem. Oh yeah, also, like Jumpman said, sorry, I'm trying to get everything out at once, but can you explain how having a balancer with pools for Frozen Walrus helps the APRs on Frozen Walrus? So another added benefit as an LP provider currently for Frozen Walrus is that we're still going to use those LPs from Trader Joe and for Swapsicle for Narwhal. And the reason I want to do that is because if there's excess walrus going for the new GCL emission pools, which would be Glacier emission pools, on our new decks, right, there will be less TVL on the current farms. So you won't see as much staked in there, so that you'll get a bigger piece of the pie if you are staked as an LP provider in our system. And I think that's really good. That's why I really wanted to disconnect the difference between having LP provider over at Trader Joe and then also having it on the balancer fork. Not to say that we can't do more with it, but it will directly benefit you as an LP provider through Trader Joe or Swapsicle. And there is a reason that I did that. So.
Can you explain how the LPs will work on farmland with your own multiplier?
I don't know what that means.
He just gave a smiley face when you said that.
I think he's just trying to get alpha.
He is.
And then I still have another piece to the pie here, by the way, guys. There is something else to announce. But the reason I wanted to announce that is so that you all knew, so what if we go under? So what if we go above? The goal is to provide LP, not worry about trading the price. It's to constantly yield through walrus share. And I think a lot of people miss that point, is that I want to gain liquidity in several different ways and have many different tokens or different ways to use those LP tokens. And so, as time goes on, you will see liquidity deepen, and then you'll see us go above peg for a little bit and go below. And that's really what I want to see. I want to see that, us matching liquidity constantly by whatever means possible, so that it's very easy to trade our token and be more ingrained in the AVAX ecosystem. And I think the balancer fork can really push us there.
Crypto Gamer wants to know, could you explain what the detonator does?
Yeah, so the detonator as it is it's pretty much a contract that's on its base level is kind of like noting, but it's extremely expansive on what you can do with it. There's a lot of different features to it. So there's a lottery for claiming. There is a sniper claim where if you get the biggest deposit for the day, you get the exact same deposit back to you. There's tickets for that lottery that is based on your deposit, it's very, I think that it's best to probably send you their most recent. Let me find it real quick. They have a really nice concise video, and I don't want to sit here and babble about it like an idiot. So I'll find it real quick, and I think that should answer a lot. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, okay, here it is. So as the detonator stands, this is kind of what a detonator does. Now, we couldn't do Glacier Fi, by the way. All right, so far we've announced that we will have a new contract of something that you all have been talking about for quite some time. That partnership will be, I don't just do like little petty partnerships. It will be fully involved partnership with, some good exposure and some marketing behind it. We also have a new website redesign coming into play. We also have a very brand new protocol, a balancer fork coming in called Glacier Fi. And Glacier Fi will directly support Frozen Walrus in several different ways. And again, if you don't know what a balancer fork is, trust me, it's okay. The more I'll have a white paper out in the next couple of days, and then you'll be able to read up, and I'll make it in layman's terms so that it's very easy to understand and wrap your head around about the entire dynamic behind it. So don't stress out if you don't know what it is. It's just base level. It's a DEX with a little bit different of a model, and it's very powerful. So just understand that. And then what else do we have? The last piece of the puzzle before we can start taking questions. so long as this protocol suffered by vampires, right? Single stake pools are vampires. And so I'm going to give everybody a second so that you can rein back in to hear what I'm saying. So yeah, the protocol is designed to take in deep liquidity, right? The liquidity is king. Making liquidity is king. Providing liquidity is king. And there's only one portion of our protocol that does not provide liquidity, right? And I'm sure you all know what that is. That is the boardroom. And you know, it's got me in a funk that that seems to be the only thing not working in our protocol, and it's so impactful to the price of everything. And I hate that. And so I wanted to do something a little bit different for our boardroom. And so we are changing the boardroom contract. And of course, I'll give you a plenty of times notice to make whatever decision you want to here. But we are changing the boardroom to only accept the Magic Auto Compounder receipt token for Walrus Share LP. So what does this mean? It means that you will always be an LP provider if you want to gain from the seniorage of us being over peg. It also has a burning mechanism in it. And no matter what, you can set that in the boardroom as long as you want, and you will always yield off of it. Because it's a receipt token, Magic is already doing its job. And, you know, that will automatically be yielding. And if we're over peg, you will double yield. So, you know, the benefit for the protocol is that we'll have ever-growing LP no matter what position you take. And so if you don't know, just to clear it up, Magic Receipt Token is a token that you're given whenever you deposit in the Magic Auto Compounder vaults. And the reason that I wanted to do that is so that it does have that yielding ability, so that if you're in the boardroom, you will constantly be gaining money above peg or below peg. You know, the shares will constantly bolster new liquidity. And so this, you know, this feature may be looked at as bad, but for the overall longevity of the protocol, having LP providing as the basis, yeah, it'll still have locking, Crypto Gamer. It'll still have everything about the boardroom will be exactly the same, except you will be a liquidity provider, and you'll be constantly yielding. And so that is how we see it going forward. Yes, you will be auto compounding while you are printing in the BR. Well, Jorbo, I understand what you're saying, but the fact is that everybody will be doing the exact same thing. Everybody's going to be providing liquidity, so the volatility would go down at that point, right? The only people holding it would be traders at that point, right? So everybody is constantly growing their Walrus Share position through Magic Auto Compounders, right? So the volatility is reduced, actually. In fact, you get more. You wouldn't get more impermanent loss, but you'll get more loss and gain just having Walrus Share. And obviously, you know, it's a problem with Walrus Share, and it always has been, is that it's so volatile based on the TWAP. And so now people that are parked in the boardroom may think twice before removing it because you're still yielding off your Walrus Share. It's quite, you know, it's one of those things that I feel like it's a perfect marriage between me and Magic, because I love Magic and I love their auto compounders. And I think that this will really, what happens if Magic gets hacked? Well, then I'm pretty sure Beefy would also get hacked. But no, I mean, obviously Magic can speak a little bit higher than that, but that's to the same concept. We could also be susceptible to the same attacks. So, I mean, with any amount of security, I trust that, you know, I've talked with the Magic team a lot. You know, I trust their team like I trust mine. Correct. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if Vincent can't break into those vaults and do anything malicious, then it may not happen. Well, Brando, in the same sense, would I reimburse you if, I mean, I couldn't reimburse you if you know, Walrus was susceptible to a hack, right? But I understand your point. I do understand your point, Brando. No, Stealth. Walrus Share LP, right? Walrus Share LP. So Walrus Share USDC LP that is deposited into the Magic Auto Compounder vaults. Every time you deposit in there, you get a receipt token in your wallet automatically that represents your Walrus Share staked in Magic Auto Compounding vaults. You will use that receipt token to stake so that you'll constantly be yielding in the boardroom. So Edge, you are correct in a sense, but we'll just display your value of your LP via the boardroom. So whenever you're in the boardroom, you'll see it there, and it'll show you the exact value. Correct. The same principle would apply to Narwhal BR. So yeah, guys, those are the impactful announcements that I have. A lot of changes, a lot of thought has went into this. And I hope that you all understand the changes that I'm making are absolutely essential to me and to making this project not just last 3 months, to not just constantly be under peg and thinking about how can I get us back up the peg the quickest. This is what makes us look good in 6 months. In my opinion, these are things that I think will be impactful for the future of Frozen Walrus and the ecosystem, across the entire board. We have to quit thinking, something needs to save us. And hopefully these features don't just save us, but they allow us to thrive as an entire ecosystem. Oh no, the regular farms will be untouched. You'll still get Walrus Share.
We have a question from Coffee Lake. Can we invest early in GLCR similar to a pre-sale?
Yes, there will be angel investors, but there will be a lock on those tokens, and it would require a lot of capital to get in there. So once I come out with the docs, you'll see. But it won't be a pre-sale for just anybody to buy like $100 worth. It'll have to be a very large position. So you'll see when it comes out, and if you feel like you want to make that move, then of course we can do that.
Can we zap in Walrus Share USDC
Yes.
LP through the farm and Frozen Walrus and put it into Magic Auto Compounder?
I would be more than yes, we can do that. AV Crypto Gamer, yes, I would be happy to change the name to something that was more fitting if I know something that is more fitting. No, there's been I have about 20 interested parties in buying for the pre-sale.
Will Glacier allow us to pair Walrus and Arm with any token on the decks?
Say it again, you cut out a little bit.
Will Glacier allow us to pair Walrus and Narwhal with any token on the decks?
Yes.
Do you have a time frame for the contract change for Walrus Share?
So I was actually going to release it last week and then make the change this weekend. But now that I'm announcing it, I'll make a formal announcement, and then we will likely change it by next weekend. And then, obviously it's actually not hard to redo the contracts for the boardroom. It's really like it can be implemented in a day, but I want to give everybody a week to make that decision of what you want to do. So we'll probably give you a week to do that. So I'll make it a formal announcement tomorrow and then give a full 7 days for you to do it. We'll have Tampa. There'll be a place to take out your old Walrus Share no matter when you find the announcement.
Will it have a similar feature as Dynamo with Equinox?
Yes, it will have a locked boosting feature so that you can boost your favorite farms. Walrus Share can still be staked in the boardroom. It's just in the form of LP. Towards the end of September, Brando, I want to make sure that it's super clean code. And me and Jumpman are digging into all of the contracts. And then if we feel like we need to take on more parties to complete it in a manner that we can get it done by the end of September, then we will. But yeah, so I'm looking towards the end of September. Please do, Brando. We'll give you a bounty, buddy. So obviously I've been in talks with Grape to bring them on to some extent. And then there's some other partners that I want to bring on. But I don't want to make announcements yet about those until they see it in action and they want to make that commitment. But I see that there's going to be probably at least 5 or 6 core pools and then a couple extra pools on top of that.
Can you explain Peg Campaign Part 2?
No, Rocket. In the next couple of days, you will see the core pools defined. So I'll make obviously a full documentation to list everything in the next couple of days. We just finished up the landing page, so we'll start working on that. And then, can you explain the Peg Campaign 2? Yes, it's boosted farms for your Walrus LP with a small tax if we're under a certain TWAP. So from like 0.9 to 1.25 or 1.15 TWAP, we will have boosted Walrus share emissions for that pool. I would love to host Astro, to be honest. That would be really cool. Yeah, MDB is on BSC for sure.
Several people are typing.
I would love to bring Thor in as well. I've been talking to Loki in the background, but obviously nothing official like this. It's one of those things that it would have to be something. So we do retain some of the Glacier tokens for boosted partner pools to bring them on. So it is something that we can do. Do you think this change on Walrus Share Boardroom will create a sell pressure and bring the price down because people possibly will sell half of it with USDC instead of pairing with fresh USDC? I see it as a possibility, yes. But the reason that I'm doing it now is because Walrus Share is not as an impactful of a price. And honestly, the Treasury could use some more Walrus Share if they need it. And it's one of those things that we need to patch this hole now so that the next run up we get will have much more support, right? Yeah, I hope Madrid and me can have a long talk about it because I think there's a lot.
You said that when TWAP will be at 0.9, you will remove the tax on the Peg Campaign. Won't it bring a huge sell pressure?
So that's exactly what the PCP2 is, Dark Degen, is that whenever we turn off the taxes, we allow this new pool of boosted APR so that people can take that LP and move it over to the new pools. That's the best I can do and offer to users instead of dumping it.
We can't be dependent upon the Peg Campaign to retain our Peg or get us to Peg or keep us at Peg.
Yeah, if people don't see a long-term investment.
There's a logical stopping point to it.
Yeah, if people don't see the long-term vision in Frozen Walrus and they want to sell out after the PCP campaign, that's fine. We'll constantly build revenue platforms and new things to bring to you all as users to gain real yield. I mean, that's what this is. The LP that you're providing now can be used for real yield later, depending on how big we make the decks, right? But it's not there now. By the way, the 0.9 tax is not there now. I'm speaking in hypotheticals. So at 0.9, don't take out your LP and then scream at me that there's still a tax. Well, not so savvy. What do you mean? If 0.9 doesn't happen, do you just believe that Frozen Walrus will retain a 76 cent evaluation for the remainder of forever? Is it possible to temporarily lower the print price for the boardroom until we get back to Peg like Polaris Finance? So, Olib, there is absolutely no printing of Walrus happening right now. Absolutely zero. If anything, Walrus is actually reducing in supply because of the Magic Auto compounders. Yeah, again, the narrative of the PCP campaign, I've already told you all that I'm a little displeased with, is that we think that we need to get to Peg. I'm going to bring real value to the protocol so that, it's valued at $1 regardless of, the price. So, if people don't see the long-term vision in Frozen Walrus and they want to sell out after the PCP campaign, that's fine. If people don't see the long-term vision in Frozen Walrus and they want to sell out after the PCP campaign, that's fine. high APRs, that people find it lucrative to invest and keep a long-term position here at Frozen Walrus. So all of this, is it going to be 0.9 here or 0.9 later or whatever it is? Yeah, I'm not so focused on the price. I'm focused on making sure we build it out.
How will nodes be affected by the Boardroom and Dex stuff?
It won't. Yeah, again, the PCP is not ending right now until we get some things in check and more of the vision fleshed out so that people understand what they're invested in. And if they choose to stick with that investment, that's great. If they choose not to, then okay, we'll find more investors. You're either here for the long haul or you're not.
Someone really likes Narwhal.
Here's
Jesus Christ.
What happened?
107.
Yeah.
107.5.
Here's an idea how the debt sells out fast. FYI, early access launch on Reactor was flawless. Almost 1 million in the contract within the first 45 minutes. Join us at the live launch party. Yeah, the Reactor. I was actually going to make an announcement about the Reactor. As you know, obviously our relationship blossoms. I wanted to offer that to you all as the community. Reactor is their detonator for the share token. Yes, of course, Dark DGM, we will have that. And again, we'll have another pool that's just like Walrus, Narwhal, USDC, and YUSD to make it, extra impactful.
My bad is desperate for some NFT alpha.
Yeah, again, everything's ready on that end. It has to... No, it won't be staked on the new decks. It has to be done through them. It's literally them stopping it right now. So once they give me the go-ahead, we're ready to announce.
When Treasury node compound?
Me and Beyond can possibly do it tonight. We just haven't been focused on it. Let's see.
Why? No, it'll be both boardrooms, and any other boardrooms we create in the future will require Walrus Share LP going forward after the announcement.
Correct. Yes. And again, I'll give hard dates and also exactly what to do and how to stake in Magic. So no worries there either. It'll be completely clearly communicated exactly when and what to expect. So there won't be any ambiguity. Well, I mean, the tokens that you're buying, let's go, Brando, will actually be locked for probably 2 to 3 months. But you obviously get a premium on them for early purchases. And it's not really a pre-sale, I don't guess. No, Tampa, they'll probably be worth about 1 AVEX. Yeah, it would probably, we're looking for minimum, I'm probably thinking is probably 10K for an early investment. Anything less than 10K, it's too much tracking. And we need obviously committed parties with capital, because that's what we're doing, is raising capital for the, and I would love to open it up to everybody, but it would get too messy.
Is there a conversation of making an auto stake to Magic function in the DApp of the new decks? Just thinking of removing one extra side interference for investors.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. Me and Jumpman had been talking about that, and if we can do it by the time we release it, yes. Yeah, so really, I want to reiterate this point, right? That I'm not building for hype. I'm not building for a day trader. I'm building to make Walrus sustainable for a long time, or doing my best to, right? And so this PCP campaign and stuff was a temporary measure to release some of that negative sentiment and get us back on the right track. Everything I'm doing from here on out is to build deep liquidity and to constantly give users from Frozen Walrus a place to yield and to use those LP tokens, and to quit thinking so much about is it pegged or is it not, and allow the system to print extra Walrus when we are over peg, and then also a place to yield still when we are under peg. And that's exactly what these protocols are meant to do. But we have to make sure that we're bringing in the right kind of investor.
Ampa suggested auto stake to Magic for nodes as well. That's a great idea. Like
Yeah.
your node rewards.
Oh, that would be
Have a
cool.
one button clicked straight to Magic.
Does staking the magic tokens in the BR affect how we can interact with the AC compound farm? Do we need it? So here's how it's going to go: is that you'll deposit the the AC vaults, right? And you'll see your position there. And then once you use your receipt token from that and you deposit in the boardroom, whenever you go to Magic, it won't show anything, right? It'll all be done on the back end, but you'll still be gaining. So just understand that is that it'll all be communicated like that on the interface was. Could you provide a quick overview of the idea of core pools and how that benefits Frozen Walrus? Yeah, so the core pools are really since we are developing this, the core pools are Frozen Walrus pools, right? So it'll be Glacier liquidity, it'll be Walrus liquidity, Narwhal liquidity, Walrus share liquidity. All of those will be our core pools that you can boost. The stable pools on the decks. Hold on, let me finish. This is the core pools are really just the pools that we, like as Frozen Walrus users, want to impact the most. When we get 1,000 eyes on this, is that'll have the biggest APR, so that anybody getting into the decks will say, "Oh, I should get into the Frozen Walrus one," right? And so that's really the way to do it. And then someone said, what will be the stable pools on the decks? I'm still considering it, but I'd really like to do YUSD and USDC so that our users, especially those two, but so that our users have a place to constantly swap from a trusted site that, is developed by the same team that you're using. So it'll probably be like USDT, USDC, YUSD. We may do MIM. I may provide it for MIM, something like that. And then we'll also make the fees like 0.02% or something like that to be very competitive, so that it's very low fees. Oh, Brando. I know a lot of people are talking about USD Plus. I know it's on AVAX. I still have to research it. And again, 10K is a loose term. Like for me, an angel investor is someone that supported the protocol. An angel investor is someone that wants to support the longevity of the ecosystem and build deep liquidity into the Glacier protocol. There's other metrics other than just money getting thrown at me.
I'm so fly 718 says, you guys aware of the issue with their first epoch? Are you going to avoid that?
There's nothing you can do about it. It's quite often that every balancer fork does the exact same thing, right? Beethoven did it, Balancer did it, Equinox did it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that. All you can do is drive benefits for a DEX is in a 2-week play. It's a very long play, and it's a farm token, so it's going to go up and down. There's absolutely nothing you can do to release that sell pressure from the first epoch, which is every 7 days. The benefit, Dark Degen, is that you're gaining with 0 impermanent loss the entire time going back up, and you're gaining AVAX in return. It's been wild. I just know Lame Hillbilly will deliver. I appreciate that, Brando. Yeah, so just in reference, the fees can be split in any which direction we want to. So obviously 50% of those fees, maybe a little bit less, will be used to buy back the Glacier token and give out to the LP providers of Glacier token or the locked Glacier token week over week. And then we're going to use a percentage of the fees to also give out to the LP providers of Frozen Walrus ecosystem in some capacity, which will be revealed later. But they will get some of those fees. And then obviously the team and the treasury will get some of those fees. But altogether, I think it's going to be, we're going to land really solid with this one. Will we all be frozen Walrinaires? I don't know if that's what we want to call it. JC, thank you for the support. Thank you all for the support. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I really do. I hope that this information, is well received by you all. This is why I do it, because I'm trying to look. I'm just an honest guy trying to build a sustainable protocol, and that's all I want to do. Right? I just want to build. And so I think this is one of many DeFi products that Frozen Walrus will build out to constantly find a way to sustain Frozen Walrus inflation and deflation. And so if you're an investor, if you're a long-term investor, just know that I'm here and I'm building, and your investment is safe. It may not always be up, but you're always yielding. If you're compounding, you should look at what compounding does in 6 months, regardless of the price. Oh, the excess walrus from the PCP campaign will be sent to the treasury, and we'll likely burn it. So whenever it gets paired back, when people withdraw, we'll probably just burn that walrus. There'll be share maxis, but there'll be LP share maxis now. And listen, if it messes with the value of walrus share, like, it doesn't matter because we have LP. We're providing LP. Whenever Glacier launches, we'll have more LP because it'll be 80% walrus share, 20% USDC. So yeah. LP is indeed king. Don't burn it. Didn't you just tell me to burn stuff, Brando? You are bipolar, man.
Literally. Right
burn
before we
100K.
started. Burn it all. Burn 100 fucking K.
Now Dex. All right, so we got new information. Okay. Yeah, so obviously another benefit, by the way, is that Frozen Walrus will be an angel investor. Our treasury will be an angel investor into Glacier. And so those fees will be given directly back to the Frozen Walrus treasury as a benefit. So we'll put up some USDC, and then we'll use that as a new yielding opportunity, along with some of the fees may end up going straight to the treasury as well. We're still debating on our fee structure. No, SSJ, there will still be traders. It just won't be as impactful. If you don't move my PC pool, that means if I don't move my PCP pool, no impermanent loss. But if I remove the LP, I'm getting permanent loss plus tax. You're getting zero loss, Dark Degen. If you put 1,000 USDC in, you will get $1,000 worth of LP in Walrus, plus whatever tax you incur, and also plus any of the APR that you had retained. Yes, it is being recorded. So how's everybody feeling about this information? I feel like, I know that was a lot. It felt like a little at first, but now I feel like it is a lot. And I feel like it really gives me a lot of hope that we can really make something special. And that's what I'm excited about. Yeah, Avery, just put me on repeat. I know that you do anyway. I know that you secretly watch Lame Hillbilly Tusk Talks. There will be no changes to the PCP at this time, SDW. There will be no changes. Of course, I will always communicate effectively before we make any large changes like that. So don't worry. Yeah, so to my knowledge, this has not been done. The Walrus Share LP being a magic auto burning. Yeah, I don't think this has been done yet. So it's kind of cool that we are the first to do this and see how impactful it is. And to me, again, I don't care if the price is $300, or $20. It'll have its value, but at least to gain off of this protocol through the Synorge program of the Boardroom, you will have to have LP. You will have to have skin in the game.
This is a farming protocol.
That's what it is. It's a yield protocol. It's a farm protocol. What do you guys think about this website? I will say that I designed all of the icons, most of them. I will say most of them. Jumpman gave me access to his Photoshop, and so I designed most of them.
So my boardroom deposit will constantly increase.
Correct. That is the benefit, and the reason I'm doing that, again, just to reiterate the Walrus Share LP in Magic, is that you will always, right? You will always be gaining. You will always be gaining in the Boardroom. So why take it out? If you're a long-term Frozen Walrus investor, why take it out? If Walrus Share goes down in price, you get a dampening effect because you have LP, and you're also compounding. So it's pretty cool.
And we move our LP from Magic and use them at Glacier, or we have to create new LPs.
Oh no, we'll be using the LP that's currently provided through Trader Joe regular Walrus Share liquidity.
Will boardroom rewards be added to the auto compounder, or will it still be claim then pay then deposit then stake?
Correct. Nothing else will change from the Boardroom other than the token that it accepts, which will now be the Magic Auto Compounder receipt token.
New website coming up soon?
Correct. It is. And if you, Dwight, if you missed some of it, you should go check it out. I did show the entire
11
website.
minutes. It starts around 11 minutes of your YouTube.
Lame Hillbilly. So there will be no front end in the Magic AC page when staked in the BR. So you will not see it there, right? So your receipt token will show it somewhere different. So I don't think, now Avery can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it'll show you updates. But as far as the pricing, you'll see that through the Boardroom. Are we still going ahead with the treasury investments? We're holding off until we get all of this launched. And then once we have actual revenue, we'll start debating where we want to invest it. What will Walrus Share be used for? Exactly like what it's being used for right now.
What's the Mammoth plan?
Your LP will always, so it's just Jorbo, it's exactly like what it is currently. If it's, it's a 4 epoch lock for your LP now, which is another added benefit because now there'll be LP locked. And so there'll be less shares hitting the market. Rocket, I haven't considered what D-Bank will show or not show. We'll have to work on that as we get there. But yeah, hypothetically, it would just track it as like a Magic Farm investment, I think. No, incorrect, Wally. You will use Walrus Share USDC LP in Magic, and then you will stake that in the Boardroom. Whenever we are over 1.01, you will print. Depends, Brando. It depends what you're trying to advertise.
We know what he's advertising. No, for you, no. Let's see here. Raw Bear 503. Would you consider doing a social media blitz that utilizes the Frozen Walrus community For example, over 2 months, having a competition with rewards for people that post on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, use the same hashtag on all 3 platforms, 3 to 5 posts a week with 50 people. That could potentially be 150 posts a week, changing the algorithm for Frozen Walrus on social media platforms. And this would create some creativity from the community.
I would I would enjoy doing that, but I think that's another form of shilling to the wrong crowd. I think it's better to use that for Glacier. So basically, instead of building a bag in the farms and Boardroom separately, now we'll basically have the same huge bag in both. That's correct.
Will you ever bring back any single stake options, or is the plan now purely LP?
The plan's always been LP. And there is no single stake options ever.
Well, soon. Where do we find our Magic Farm receipt token once staked?
It'll be in your wallet. You won't even have to add it to your MetaMask. It'll already be tracked by the Boardroom. All you have to do is press the plus sign. And if you have that Magic AC receipt token, because it's automatically given on deposit, then you'll be able to stake it. So it's really not a difficult transition for sure.
Are you creating Glacier, or are we just partnering with them?
No, Glacier is ours. Did you all like my corny announcement? I made that in Photoshop where the walrus was in I texted Dylan and I said, "Hey man, I need a picture of a walrus in a hard hat with a radio." Stat.
Stat. He said stat.
Stat.
Hold on. I'm gonna scroll up in our messages.
It's written in blood, temporal ice.
All right, I'm gonna send the message that you sent me. Shit, it's not working. Isn't the current Boardroom technically a single stake switching over to LP? Yes, currently.
Correct. There will be nowhere for a single stake other than bonds. And again, the partnership that I was discussing about new things you can do with your LP that is very beneficial for you as a user, that's similar to nodes that everybody's been asking about, the infamous D word, should be launching within a week or two. So get your LP now, honestly, if you want it. You know, Walrus is still at a discount. You know, I plan on driving a ton of TVL to this DEX, and I think that what you'll see is that a ton of TVL will also benefit to the Frozen Walrus ecosystem as well, because we have real vision, we have real ideas, and you know what's crazy is that this is the same thing I said about roadmaps, is that putting us in a roadmap confined us, keeping us out of a roadmap allowed me to pivot and make changes. So these are the 1 month roadmap, and then in the next month I will probably have 1,000 more ideas. And I just think that the roadmap idea is a convoluted one that people expect.
Avery says roadmap is bullshit.
True.
Out of all the things coming, what's the team's favorite? For me personally, I'm very excited about the balancer. I've been very excited. It's been, god damn, it's been. How long have we been talking about this now? Like,
Yeah, I've been
a
talking
little
about it for
over a
quite some
week,
time.
2 weeks.
Also, I think that I'm going to make this a leverage opportunity against LB and say, listen, I'll host your shit if you host my shit in Vinium. So obviously, the goal is so that we can also have LP as collateral for the big boys that want to, you know, use Walrus as a collateral. And then, you know, they'll have their, and this is the great thing about us having a balancer and them having a borrowing and lending platform, right? Is they're both very capable of being blue chip, and they're also both fee generating for both parties. So we now have different revenue streams on the same chain working synonymously together.
Nice. I remember epoch number 69. Now we're at 420.
Nice.
How much do we need to raise?
There's no. I mean, I'd like to get over 1 million, but there's no real goal for it.
Even with the volatile price action, is the team feeling more comfortable again?
Yes, I think that I have a lot of goals and visions that really make Frozen Walrus a protocol that that will retain value for longevity, and that's what I was most nervous about. And I think that this is impactful and this is useful for you all. And as providers of LP, I feel very confident that you all will constantly be benefited through the products that we're building. So I am very happy. So I don't know if he's here in or ask me anything, but I do. I want two people to become Walter's assistants today, and one of those is I'll type them out. Can I find it? I guess I don't know how to spell his name. I know how to spell one though. Yeah, he's online. So the Walter's assistants today. Let me find the other one before I say it. I know he was here earlier. I think he said he wanted to go to bed. Y'all type so much. I gotta scroll up for all my shit.
I even have slow mode on. It's not stopping them.
Yeah, y'all are nuts.
You got the people going.
Y'all are nuts. Let's see. I know he's typed here recently. There it is. Okay. There it is. All right, so these are my two picks for Walter's assistant. Dylan, if you want to give him the role. Ace has been demolishing the chat constantly. And I really appreciate it. He's constantly in the chat speaking. Steven is constantly talking about how bullish he is on the protocol. And those things are awesome for me, and I really enjoy it. And even though they joke around a lot, I think it really gives a positive atmosphere. And I really appreciate it. So thank you, both of you. And obviously there's more to come, but those two for sure are very. I'm very happy to give them finally. I was thinking about it all week.
Ace, if you have a problem with that color, this is the one rule I cannot change for you. I hope you like the orange.
Yeah, I was thinking a little bit. What do you think, Brando? Was it worth it? Did I say good things, man? Are you happy with me? Did I say the right things? That's great to hear, man. Yeah, I just hope that this really starts, changing the outlook of the investors currently in our protocol, and really starts building some longevity views, as this is a long-term investment in your portfolio, not something short-term. Yeah, I knew Ace had to be up there, man. He is killing it with the chats.
Awesome. You let me really take a lead on this.
It's fake.
Jesus.
It's fake.
It's not fake. I stopped waving at 5,000 messages.
And then I think the best question, I don't know, Dylan, pick a good question. I picked it last week. I don't feel like scrolling.
Not so savvy. Not so savvy had some really good questions tonight.
All right.
He usually does, but
Not so savvy. There you go.
Brando, you didn't ask a single question. You just made demands and threatened us with your OnlyFans.
And I think we can resume the music and turn the volume up a little bit. How dare you, Dylan?
That was at the exact same time.
What the fuck?
All right, let's see here. Let me get a. You want me to pick a random winner?
Yeah, pick us a random winner.
Make sure I've got everybody's name down. Are we doing one random winner tonight, or?
Yeah, one random winner.
All right. Damn, this person's gonna be hype. Jumpman, it's not you though.
Oh no. Oh,
I
it's
know they're gonna be
Rand.
hype. I know they're gonna be hype.
Listen,
That's
man.
fucking wild.
You didn't get your spot as Walter's assistant, but you still won.
All right, let me.
By the way, this is low key my favorite music. Synthwave. Like old 80s. Like Blade Runner esque.
This is like improv. Fucking love Ryan Gosling. Dancing with my baby to this shit right now.
Fucking gets me hyped up. Yeah, man, exactly, Zephram. I love that style. I love everything about this type of music. The amount of memes and stuff like in this community and like the amount of dumb shit you all say makes me so happy.
Well, it's organic.
Yeah, it's real.
It's built from scratch.
Yeah, Robo, this music does bang. Good night, JC.
Balance on out. JC, thanks for stopping by.
It's just like an 80s synthwave mix that I found. But it has like a bunch of video games like Hotline Miami and stuff if you are familiar with video games. It does give me Blade Runner vibes. I actually love Blade Runner. I love the cyberpunk aesthetic really a lot. In fact, I was going to design Frozen Walrus around it, but it didn't really match, so I couldn't. But I love the like black and pink together. Emil Rotmayer. I'll give him a listen. DD, there's no alpha here today. Sorry, sir. I'm just kidding. That's Dread. You'll have to rewatch the Ask Me Anything. There's we'll make a formal announcement of bullet points about what was discussed today because I think a lot of it was very.
Don't let his name fool you. That's Dread.
I know.
I think he's been here the whole time.
I know it is. No alpha.
We just had an hour long just fucking. I'm literally like bobbing my head.
Yeah, man. Shit bangs.
I'm vibing.
Shit bangs, man. Damn, dude, that looks like kind of like a cyberpunk walrus, Jorbo. No light mode. Damn, they're kind of vibing to this.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look forward to if you are a Frozen Walrus investor, and I really think that you are going to be blown away with like the fees that you're able to receive as an LP provider that further locks liquidity deep. Just being a Walrus LP provider, you could be getting, let's say 20% of the fee structure. You could see how impactful that would be. Of course, it wouldn't be as impactful as locking in Glacier tokens, but for doing something you're already doing and getting real revenue, you would get it in the form of USDC or some other, like AVAX or something. That's very powerful. You're getting real yields off your tokens. So,
Damn. The gifts killed my Discord.
oh, did it? Made you restart?
You overloaded me.
Uh-oh.
Avery is about to post a meme with my face. So if you're interested to see what I actually look like,
How does he know?
Avery's.
What she look like?
I'm pretty sure he saved that picture I sent in the DK Discord. Brando, I'm not competent enough to run an AMA for Frozen Walrus. Oh, that's badass.
Simple Hatch. He does look like Jesus.
Actually goes exactly in line with what I just said.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to give a special shout out. I don't know if he's still in here. Madrid runs Serenity Capital. I'm an investor in Serenity Capital, so this is not like a paid advertisement or anything. But Serenity Capital has a AVAX chain, and they're an amazing protocol, and I think they deserve more love. And if you're bullish on ETH, then I would go check him out. He's a great guy. He has a great team. And I really like it. So, but full disclosure, I am an investor there. But I wanted to say it. Also, EMP, they just released Reactor, which is the eShare equivalent of the detonator. And they literally just launched like during this Ask Me Anything. So if you're interested, I would check it out. I am also an investor there. And AJ is a great guy. AJ, Madrid, LB, all of these guys are people that I really trust. And so if I can talk about their protocols and expose you all to cool projects other than Frozen Walrus, of course I want to.
Your mic's cutting out bad.
Your mic's cutting out bad.
Oh, shit, bro.
But that's it.
Walrus pegs.
That is all I've got. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope that gives you some alpha. And enjoy your weekend. With all this information, I hope that you can make the best decision whether you want to be an investor in Frozen Walrus for the long haul, or if you want to sell out of your position. Either way, we're going to be building. And I appreciate you all being here with me. And yeah, it was really awesome to get all this information out finally and get it off my chest. So thank you for riding with me, and thank you for being here and being an investor, and I appreciate you. And like always, before we end, I want to say